Hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about McDonald Award and Poona Pact of 1932. So this is important because in the last class, we had discussed about civil disobedience movement, which was a movement started by Gandhiji with the help of Dandi March, right? So in 1930, it was started. Then in 1931, after the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, it was temporarily paused. So we'll discuss from there only. So if you have watched our previous classes of civil disobedience movement, this would be quite helpful for you. Okay, so let us begin with today's class. Today we'll be discussing McDonald Award and Poona Pact. So let us start with a quick recap. तो पहले एक थोड़ा सा हम लोग recap कर लेते हैं of whatever we have actually done in the earlier class. So this is actually the screenshot from class 12 NCERT book. Okay. And this is chapter 11, which talks about Mahatma Gandhi and the nationalist movement, civil disobedience and beyond. Okay, so let us begin. So we have in the last class we had done civil disobedience movement. Yes, if you have not watched it, please go and watch in the live section. It is provided. And we had discussed that somewhere around March, April 1930. Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement with Dandi March. This is the D-A-N-D-I, Dandi March, or what we call it as Salt March. Okay, and this was followed all across the India. I mean to say that people of other region also did something similar to that, where they violated salt tax. Okay, so that is what we call it as the beginning of civil disobedience movement. Now, so the Salt March was notable at least for three reasons. It was this event that first brought Mahatma Gandhi to world attention, right? So it actually after Gandhiji's Salt Satyagraha, or what we call it as Dandi March, Gandhiji became very famous in entire India. So that is one thing. So uske baad kya hua? We had discussed about this ki March, April, around March, April 1930. This is called as Dandi March. Okay. Now what happens is, which is actually the beginning of CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement. I have taken a complete class on this. Okay. And somewhere around in March 1931, this civil disobedience movement was paused. Why it was paused? Because Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Because of Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Okay, 1931, March 1931. So Gandhi-Irwin Pact, the it's written in NCERT book also. So the Gandhiji decided to call off the civil disobedience movement, and one of the points said that Gandhiji is supposed to attend round table conference, second round table conference that happened in the somewhere around September to November 1931. Now, this is second roundtable conference. So when roundtable conference first happened here, RTC 1 happened in December, somewhere around December 1930, where Gandhiji did not participate. Now, the question is, what is roundtable conference? So this we will discuss in detail. Okay, what is roundtable conference? We will detail में पढ़ेंगे because that is very, very important. Okay. Okay. Second roundtable conference was held in London in the later part of 1931, where Gandhiji was invited. Okay. Then after that, when Gandhiji came back from round table conference second, which happened somewhere around in the end portion of 1931, when he came back, there was new viceroy, Lord Wellington. Before that, the viceroy was Lord Irwin. So when he came back from the second round table conference, the viceroy got changed, and Gandhiji tried to start civil disobedience movement 2.0, but it got failed. So we'll discuss these things in detail. Okay, so let us begin. So first of all, let's understand what is round table conference. इसको कहते हैं round table conference. If you see it carefully, this was supposed to be done in London. ठीक है, इंग्लैंड में होता था. So मतलब ये कि जैसे for example, okay, so here is India. This is England. England में यहाँ London है. So people used to go, from India to London, either by ship or mostly by ship, and aeroplane was at initial stage. So there people used to go, and they used to have round table conference, RTC, round table conference in London, where the British officials were present and Indian representatives were also there. So discuss about how to run the British India or the constitutional governance in British India at that time. Okay. So for that, we have seen 3 roundtable conference. Okay. So I'm writing RTC 1, roundtable conference 1. It happened in 1930. Then RTC 2, roundtable conference 2 happened in 1931. And RTC 3, roundtable conference 3 happened in 1932. And all these 3 roundtable conference happened somewhere around November, October, November, September, October, November. Means the second half of the year. Okay. So in the second roundtable conference, Gandhiji participated only. Only this is the place. And why? Because Gandhiji had agreed in Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Irwin was the viceroy at that time of 1931, which was happened in March 1931. So Gandhiji had agreed that, okay, I will go and participate in that. Okay. And 1930, and Bhimrao Ambedkar participated in all 3. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. And I think Muhammad Ali Jinnah also participated in all 3. But Congress, Indian National Congress and Gandhiji participated only in second roundtable conference, because in March 1931, Gandhiji agreed in Gandhi-Irwin Pact that he will be participating in it. और ये जो होता है, I think September से November के आसपास roughly this happens. In second half of the 1931. Okay. So now you can see it here. So let us talk about the image be second roundtable conference key. And I have told you that out of the 3 roundtable conference, Gandhiji was present only in the second roundtable conference. Yes, you can see. So there were other Indians also and British members also discussing about the constitutional governance in India. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about RTC 1. Let's talk about roundtable conference. So there were 3 roundtable conference, and 1930, 1931, and 1932. It was related to constitutional reforms in India. So they were conducted as per recommendation of Muhammad Ali Jinnah to Lord Viceroy Lord Irwin. And at that time, the Prime Minister was Ramsay MacDonald, was the Prime Minister of England. And Lord Irwin was Viceroy in India. Viceroy is the officer who was supposed to control the entire India. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. So that is what you should know. So let us begin with the first roundtable conference, which happened November 1930 to January 1931. Okay, so this is actually the first roundtable conference. So when you see the first roundtable conference, it was actually held in the gallery of House of Lords at London. House of Lords is actually upper house of British Parliament. Upper house of British Parliament, something similar to, you can say, like in India, we are having Raj Sabha, like that. Okay. So they have their building in Raj Sabha premises, like something similar to that. House of Lords is there in England. Basically, England में 2 होता है. There are 2 houses. Let me explain them. So British Parliament comprises of House of Commons, House of Lords. So this is upper house. This is lower house. This is Lok Sabha. This is Raj Sabha, right? Something like that. So House of Lords is their upper house. So in their chamber, this roundtable conference first happened. And there was Ramsay MacDonald was there. He was the Prime Minister of England at that time. So there were other people also. You can see Clement Attlee was also there. So Clement Attlee later became the Prime Minister of India. This is the Prime Minister of UK. So Prime Minister of UK when India got independence on 15th August 1947. This question is asked in some exam, that who was the Prime Minister of England when the India became independent? So the answer is Clement Attlee. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. So there were 58 political leaders from British India and 6 delegates from princely states. So princely states, जो छोटे-मोटे राजा होते थे, they also sent their delegates. So however, the Indian National Congress kept away from the conference. I have told you it only participated in second roundtable conference. And here we are talking currently about first roundtable conference. So Indian National Congress and Gandhiji was not there. Perhaps Gandhiji was there in jail because of civil disobedience movement. So this we are talking about somewhere around November 1931. November 1930. So Gandhiji had done Dandi March, and after that he was arrested. Dandi March, April 1930. History is always read by connecting things, not in isolation. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand things. Okay. So Gandhiji was in jail because of participation of civil disobedience movement, like by initiating Dandi March. उसके बाद क्या होता है? So who are the members? Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister of England. And who are the other members? Muslim League se Aga Khan III was there. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Maulana Muhammad Ali Jawhar, and many other people were there. And these are representatives from Indian states. This is Maharaja of Baroda, Darbhanga, Bhopal. बहुत सारे लोग थे. There were many people. You cannot remember all. Akbar Haidari. Then British Indian representative. हाँ, तो बहुत सारे और लोग थे. Like the press classes से Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was also there. And I'm not telling you to remember all, but just remember the famous personalities. Okay. Then Odisha se KC Niyogi the, he was also very famous. That's what you should know. Now the next one is Second Roundtable Conference, September 1931 to December 1931. It happens, and I've told you that in this September 1931 to December 1931, Gandhiji participates. Why? Because in Gandhi-Irwin Pact, which happened in March 1931, Gandhiji agreed that I will participate in Second Roundtable Conference. Okay, so Gandhiji goes, and so again, Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister of England, was there in Second Roundtable Conference. Here, this time, Mahatma Gandhi, and he was the sole representative of Indian National Congress. So Gandhiji was also there. Okay, that is what you should know. Then Aga Khan, Shaukat Ali, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was there. Bhimrao Ambedkar, I have told you, he was present in all the three RTC 1, 2, and 3 Roundtable Conference. In all the three, he was present. Okay. Then women mein Sarojini Naidu was also there, famous personalities. Okay, but now what happened in Second Roundtable Conference? Actually, talks broke. Baat ho nahi pai. Gandhiji did not agree with the British, and that's why he had to come back. Okay. So second session, आप देखोगे opening session हुआ September 1931 में. Everything happened. Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister, was there. So Ramsay MacDonald undertook to produce a communal award. This is actually nothing but separate electorates के लिए, separate electorates for depressed classes. This I have to discuss in detail. Okay, so because of this, Gandhiji actually denounced the claim and he rejected. I mean, he was not happy with Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister of Britain, giving separate electorates for depressed classes, and that is why the talks broke. So Second Roundtable Conference, RTC2. Gandhiji went there. Gandhiji went to London, but talks was not successful. Now, what happened? So first of all, let me explain what is separate electorates. Then only you will understand this concept in detail. Okay. Now, separate, for example, if separate electorate, let's say here, they are talking about separate electorates to depressed classes. Depressed classes means here, modern day now in the Indian Constitution uses the word scheduled caste. Or at that time, they were considered as untouchables, which is now prohibited by law under Article 17. But there was a practice of untouchability. So this term was used. So today, another term which is used is Dalits. So these all are the terms which is used for depressed classes. Now, so what is separate electorates? Why they decided to give in 1932? Ramsay MacDonald, the British Prime Minister, decided to give separate electorates in 1932 to depressed classes. So आपको समझना पड़ेगा. देखो, for example, there is separate electorates and there is another term called as reservation. Reservation for seats. Okay, I'll give an example. For example, this is a constituency. So today, what happens is we provide, even after the independence, today also we provide reservation for scheduled caste, and let's say scheduled caste in Lok Sabha, even today also. But what is the difference between reservation and separate electorates? For example, this is a constituency where the election is supposed to happen. Yeah, election hona hai. So if this constituency is reserved for scheduled caste, It means the candidate for the election can only be from scheduled caste. So whoever is fighting an election, let's say there are 5 or 10 candidates, all should be from scheduled caste. This means the concept of reservation. But voters can be from anyone. Everyone 18 plus can go and vote, irrespective of religion, race, caste, gender. Okay, so this is the example of reservation. This is the example of reservation. Okay, where the candidates, if the constituency is reserved for scheduled caste, then the candidate can be from scheduled caste only, and the voters can be anyone from 18 plus. But in separate electorates, there is something more dangerous. What happens is, if the separate electorate, if the constituency is reserved for scheduled caste, so the candidate will be only from scheduled caste, and the voter can only be from scheduled caste. Means the other people are not supposed to vote. They cannot vote. Okay, you got the difference? So let me again highlight so that you can understand the difference. So difference here, voter is scheduled caste only, but here voters is 18 plus. So this is the case with the reservation, and this is the case with separate electorates. But the separate electorates may, if a particular seat is given as separate electorate, only that people of that community can vote, and people of that community can fight election. Okay, so that is what the concept of separate electorates is. Now, please tell me in which year the concept of separate electorates was introduced. I am coming back to this topic. Is पर मैं वापस आऊँगा. First, I'll ask some question. So, if you know the answer, please write in the answer. So, basically, the concept of separate electorates were introduced in India in 1909 by Morley-Minto reforms. Morley-Minto reforms of 1909. Okay, where separate electorates were given to Muslims in 1909. That is what you should know. So A is the right answer to this question. Also known as Indian Council Act. Okay, and so, and that is why Lord Minto. So it is called as Morley-Minto reform. So Lord Minto was the viceroy at that time, and he is considered as father of communal electorates because he tried to communalize it. So basically, this will cause divide. This is the in line with the British policy of divide and rule, where people were actually, if you give a separate electorate to a particular community, it will create more division. Okay, that is what it is. Then in Montagu-Chelmsford reform in 1919, the separate electorates, which was earlier given to Muslims, were now being extended to Sikh, Anglo-Indians, Christians, Europeans, etc. Okay, so this is called as Montagu-Chelmsford reform. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. Now, what happens is, what we are saying, communal award. So in 1932, this is also called as McDonald Award, which was discussed in Round Table Conference 2 in London. So Round Table Conference 2 happened somewhere on November 1931. So McDonald had decided to give separate electorates even to the depressed classes. Depressed classes here means now the term used is scheduled caste, or what is called as Dalit. So, this is actually, they decided to give separate electorates to even the depressed classes, and this is called as communal award. Now, why this is called as communal award? Because Gandhiji opposed it. In Round Table Conference 2, I've told you the talks broke. Gandhiji went to second Round Table Conference, but Gandhiji did not agree to Ramsay MacDonald giving separate electorates. Why? Because he believed that in 1909 you have given separate electorate to Muslims. In 1919 you have given to Sikh, Christian, Anglo-Indians, etc. So you have already divided people in the name of religion. Now, if you are giving 1932 communal award, if you are giving it to even depressed classes, this will now further divide Hindus. You have already divided Hindus, Muslim, Christian, Sikh. Now you are dividing upper caste and lower caste Hindu by giving communal award. So basically, Gandhiji realized that this was actually an attempt to divide and rule. That is what you should be knowing about. Okay. So this is, and that is why it was opposed by Gandhiji. So communal award was created by British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald. It was announced in second roundtable conference, but Gandhiji opposed it. Okay, so आप देख सकते हो 1909 में it was given, separate electorates were given for Muslims, and in 1919 it was given to Sikh, Indian Christians, Anglo-Indians, Europeans also. Okay, and that is why. But Bhimrao Ambedkar wanted separate electorates. Why? Because he believed that separate electorates will give empowerment to scheduled caste and Dalits. However, Gandhiji opposed. Why? Because he believed that it will further disunite the society. We have already created division among Hindu, Muslim, Christian. Now, what will happen is, if we will allow separate electorates to even depressed classes, it will actually cause further division among the upper caste and upper caste and lower caste within the Hindu community. Okay, and that is why Gandhiji opposed this. And इसीलिए कहा था कि round table conference was inconclusive because Gandhiji opposed giving separate electorates to depressed classes. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. इसलिए मैंने बोला कि round table conference 2 happened somewhere around November 1931. Gandhiji opposed the separate electorates for depressed classes, and he came back. He tried to start civil disobedience movement 2.0. Okay, फिर चलते हैं, थोड़ा सा बैक जाते हैं. March, April 1930. Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement by Dandi March. And November 1930, Gandhiji, March 1931, Gandhiji did Gandhi-Irwin Pact, where Gandhiji agrees to join second round table conference in November. But here the talks broke on the issue of separate electorates because Ramsay MacDonald was willing to give separate electorates even to depressed classes, and that's why Gandhiji came back, tried to start civil disobedience movement 2.0. But when he came back, Lord Irwin had gone, and now we are having a new Governor General, Lord Wellington. And Lord Wellington was actually very strict, and he ordered him to arrest. So Gandhiji was arrested after he came back in January 1932. So Gandhiji was arrested, sent to jail. So होता क्या है कि उसके बाद, like yes, you can see, so separate electorate, Gandhiji opposed the separate electorates to depressed classes because he believed that it will further cause further disunity among the people. But Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar actually wanted separate electorates, and this is the argument given by him in the NCERT book. If you are interested, you can read it. Otherwise, that is more than enough. Now, what happens is Poona Pact. अब देखो होता क्या है कि I've just told you that Gandhiji was arrested, and after round table conference 1931 RTC2 talks failed, Gandhiji came back in January 1932. He tried to start civil disobedience movement 2.0, but he was arrested by Viceroy, so he's in jail. So what happens is, to August September tak aate by somewhere around September 1932, Gandhiji was in Pune jail. Poona, at that time it was written Poona, now it is written Pune. There's a very famous jail, Yerawada Central Jail. So Gandhiji was there in Yerawada Central Jail. Now what happens is Ramsay MacDonald finally approves what we call it as McDonald Award, or what we call it as communal award. Ramsay MacDonald was the Prime Minister at that time of Britain. And under this, it was supposed to give separate electorates to the depressed classes. So depressed classes here means, well, you can see Dalits or scheduled caste. So when Gandhiji got to know that this has been finally approved, Gandhiji was in September 1932, he was in jail. So he sat on fast unto death. Gandhiji sat on fast unto death. He said that I will not break the fast unless and until this is cancelled, or this separate electorates for depressed classes is cancelled. because he believed that it will further disunite Hindus, upper caste and lower caste. So that is what we call it as Poona Pact. So when Bhimrao Ambedkar and Madan Mohan Malviya got to know, Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar and Mr. Madan Mohan Malviya got to know that Gandhiji has sat on fast unto death. So both went, Bhimrao Ambedkar and Madan Mohan Malviya, they both went to Gandhiji and inside the jail, and they met Gandhiji and convinced him that please break the fast, and we will convince British that okay, we are not accepting separate electorates for depressed classes. This is called as Poona Pact. Inside the jail, Gandhiji agreed with Bhimrao Ambedkar and Madan Mohan Malviya. Okay, that Mr. Madan Mohan Malviya and Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, they agreed that there will not be any depressed separate electorates for depressed classes. But instead of that, there will be reservation. So reservation was fine. Reservation, I have told you just what is the difference between reservation and separate electorates. Separate electorates, if the separate electorate is given to depressed classes, in that constituency, only the depressed classes can vote and only the depressed classes will be the candidate. But in case of reservation, the depressed class, person from depressed class will be the candidate, but everyone can vote. So that is the difference. So Poona Pact, so separate electorates for depressed classes was now being supposed to be cancelled, and there will be reservation for that. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. And finally, British had to agree. है ना, तो ये येरवाड़ा सेंट्रल जेल में थे गांधी जी where he did this, and British had to finally agree for this Poona Pact. ठीक है, इसलिए after that when Government of India Act 1935 comes, there is no separate electorates for depressed classes, and Government of India Act, rather there is a joint electorate. So joint electorate is opposite of separate electorates. ठीक है, so I would suggest please watch this video. Just go to the YouTube and search this Government of India Act 1935. Because I have seen sometimes questions being asked, let's say CMAT वगैरह में या even in CUET and other exams, they are asking questions of Government of India Act 1935. So just search on YouTube Government of India Act 1935 career launcher, ऐसे search करना career launcher, you will get a video. ठीक है, okay, so this is about the Government of India Act, and we have already done it, and after that we will discuss about Quit India Act also in the upcoming classes. Okay, so this is all about today's class. So please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching.